Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We have a great show for you today, and as always, if you want to call in or ask questions, you can call in right now at 323-870-3857.
I'm just I'm in a great mood today, man. I'm all smiling. We got Robert Herrick on the line, man. I can't wait to hear from him. Robbie! Yeah!
So today, we're going to talk about your boy, Andy Ruiz, leaving trainer Manny Robles. Kicked him to the curb, Beeb. He left him. Set him outie.
So disloyal. It wasn't his fault that
he eats himself to death, and then he's going to blame his trainer for it.
It wasn't his fault that the chains were broken off the refrigerator doors. I mean, what's Robles supposed to do? Follow him around?
I mean, for real, what are you supposed to do? What can he do?
What's Robles supposed to do? Put electrical tape over his mouth so he can't stuff his face?
Joe Rogan, I listened to a little snippet of, he was talking, because he had Andy Ruiz on his podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
He was saying about Andy Ruiz, he said, I know for a fact he was partying during camp, so he must have partied with Rogan.
Rogan was there. Fucking popping bottles.
Popping bottles, boy.
Popping bobbles.
Insane.
Lighting spliffs.
Yeah. Yeah, right? I mean, what was wrong? Why? How? And you're going to blame Robles for this?
Oh, my God.
Okay.
And you know what? Someone left a comment, because I did a video on it. Someone left a comment. Well, I don't blame him for firing Robles. Robles shouldn't have allowed him to do all that stuff.
He's a grown man.
How is he supposed to follow him around? You're only responsible for the fighter
Grown man, son.
when he's at the gym and you're training him. You can't follow him around. You can't go home with him every night.
Listen, man, if you need somebody to follow you around and make sure that you don't eat pizza or whatever you're eating, because that's what he had ordered, a bunch of burritos and pizzas and stuff like that. If you have to have a grown, listen, then this game ain't for you. This game ain't for you, man.
Get the hell out of here.
Moron, man. Speaking of morons, in our other train wreck of the week, your boy, Gervonta Davis, however you want to call him, Jason's boy. Jason's man.
Tank.
Can you give me some of the bling you bought from the jeweler, Tank?
Tank, it's okay. You bounced the check. I got it covered.
Check.
I got it covered, Tank.
250 large. Gangster talk for 250,000. How do you bounce a check? I'm just going to go into a jeweler, buy a bunch of stuff, and write a bad check. Why not?
But who takes checks at a jeweler anyways?
I guess they all do. Well, don't they?
Really?
Don't everybody still take checks?
I don't know. Lois, they take checks? I don't know, man.
I don't know. Did you buy Lois with a check?
Never. Come on.
You just use cash?
She's strictly the secretary here. Come on.
I mean, she's got to work for a fee, right? What is the fee?
Slow it down. You've already been reported to Human Resources. Stop it.
I didn't say nothing, man. I didn't even insinuate anything this time, man.
Okay.
It's jacked up. All right, but first, I'll tell you what, man. We get started our first story here, man. This is, out of all the shows we've done, we've never started off with anything else but a combat story, whether it's UFC related or boxing related. But this time, we got some really sad news out of California. Kobe Bryant, former Laker, died today in a helicopter crash. He was with him, and it's reported that his 13-year-old daughter was with him too. And I guess there was 9 total people on the helicopter or whatever, and it crashed in the mountains. It's like, wow, man. So this news, this was something else, man. I tell you what, I didn't expect this. For sure. I mean, when my wife told me about 3 o'clock, I guess, that Kobe Bryant, they said Kobe Bryant died. I'm like, what are you talking? What? How? said a helicopter crash. I was like, no way, man. Looked it up, and then sure enough, there it was, man. I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy, man. 41 years old, Beeb. And that guy was like because what's crazy about it is that guy was like a superstar. He was like a megastar, man. He's got a lot of, a lot of fans, a lot of fanfare. I mean, they loved him in L.A. They loved him in L.A., man. What were your thoughts when you first heard about this?
I was just utterly speechless.
Yeah.
I was devastated. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
I felt horrible.
It's awful, man. And I don't know about, I don't watch a lot of NBA just because, like Cavs and Cleveland's like way north of here. It's about 4 hours north of here. So they're not really, I'll watch them if they get in the playoffs and stuff like that, but they don't really like televise the games like locally or anything like that here. So I'll watch NBA real casual. Like my son Antonio's a big NBA fan. He likes the NBA and watching them and stuff. But yeah, this was just crazy. I think the part that was the worst for me when I heard it was his daughter was involved in the crash. She's only 13.
What a shame.
And she was like I guess she was playing on like some kind of traveling basketball league or something like that. And I guess he was the coach or something. It was just awful. And I heard, and again, the crazy part about times like this is the news. And I think Donald Trump is the first one that said, coined the phrase fake news and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You hear about, the crazy part is like when you first heard it, they said there was 5 people that were killed in the helicopter crash. Mm-hmm. All right. There was Kobe, his daughter, and then a parent of her teammate. There was like I guess the daughter's teammate was on there with her parent, and then the pilot. Turns out there was like 9 people on board. Oh, so wow. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows like the specifics, I think, but the one thing that has been confirmed is that him and his daughter were actually on there and there were no survivors. Yeah, man, really, really sad stuff today, man. It's just awful. So, yeah, our thoughts go out to him and his wife and everything like that. So, and I guess the rest of his daughters and his family. So I guess she was the oldest. I guess she was the oldest daughter, I believe. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Tony Ayo says Twitter and TMZ were too fast to speculate. Yeah, they were. That's the thing. They go on there and they want to have, they want to be right, and so they give you whatever. They give you whatever they want to give you. So, all right. So much for that. Let's get back to boxing here. Danny Garcia versus Ivan Redkach, the WBC welterweight eliminator, for whatever that's worth. Danny Garcia, back after a long layoff, wins a wide unanimous decision over Ivan Redkach by the scores of 118 to 110, 117, 111 twice. Garcia looked good in this fight, man, but there was definitely, to me, there was some ring rust, man. Most people expected Garcia to get rid of him, but Redkach is a tough fighter.
Yeah, he's solid. He's durable.
He really is, man. He's a very good fighter. There was one bizarre moment in the fight, though, in round 8 where Redkach actually bit Danny Garcia in the clinch. I don't know what, listen, man, I don't know what he's hoping to happen at that point when he bites him. I don't know if he expects him to go down or what he expects. I don't know. But Beeb, let me ask you this. If a referee sees that's an intention, that's a disqualification, no? But he's got to see the act of it. I don't think he could just see a mark.
Well,
but I don't know.
Remember when who's the guy who was that fight where the guy got bit, when Mark Price got bit in the stomach? Who's the guy that bit him in the stomach?
Oh, Jesus!
And the ref didn't actually see it, but Mark Price complained about it and he showed him the teeth marks.
Yeah,
on
I guess
his
you
stomach,
could see that. Yeah,
and he disqualified. Do you remember? This is the ridiculousness of the Tyson incident. Mills Lane actually allowed the fight to continue.
I remember that. That was insane.
And he took 2 points. That's an automatic disqualification.
Automatic.
He lost all the credibility in the world when he allowed that fight to go on.
But I'll tell you what, in the defense, and I had seen a lot of fights, since then and before then and everything. I'd never seen that. Have you ever seen anything like that? I had never seen that.
No.
Right
in the stomach.
No.
Hit him right in the stomach.
It's crazy. But, overall, man, Garcia looked good, man, but we've seen him look better. I'll be honest, man. Could the inactivity be getting the better of him in the sense of, could he be, was this just a bad outing? Was this a ring rust outing? What was this? Or was this, him?
It's tough. It's tough when we call fights like this bad outings when you win every round, and
it is.
No,
it really is.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know. I didn't think it was a horrible performance, but I will say one thing: Garcia looked like his timing was off a little bit, and I agree with you. That definitely could have been due to ring rust.
Yeah.
But also as well, like you mentioned, Redkach is a durable guy. He's a solid guy. Like, no one really blows him out of there, to be honest with you, right? So I don't think it was a bad performance per se, but again, the perception is that he's still supposed to knock Redkach out, and that didn't happen.
No.
But let us not forget what the performance Redkach had against Devin Alexander. Stopped Devin Alexander. That was just shocking upset.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, and he was supposed to. I mean, like I said, man. Again, and you brought this up before as we were talking before the show. We were talking about Redkach and stuff like that, but he was really supposed to be fighting Errol Spence.
Correct.
So we can't really blame, Garcia for the opponent. And the opponent was good.
And here's the other thing too, because you got a big money payday with Errol Spence down the pike, potential Manny Pacquiao fight, potential Keith Thurman rematch. So you got all these guys that you want to fight, right? So while you're waiting, what other name could Danny Garcia have fought? What other bigger challenge could he have really fought?
Yeah, realistically.
Because because Manny Pacquiao hasn't decided to fight yet. Keith Thurman's going to be on the shelf again for a while. Errol Spence, is waiting in the wings for his comeback fight as well.
Right.
So who else was out there for him to fight? People want to call him Danny Garcia, the cherry picker, but look at the resume. He's got one of the best resumes in boxing right now.
You can't. You can't put too much stock into that because, again, man, he just, like I said, he's fought too many guys, and there are the Rod Salkas in the world, and there are the Rod Salkas on his resume.
Yeah, he's never going to be able to live that one down.
No, he's not.
Never.
But listen, man, Ivan Redkach is not Rod Salka.
No,
put it that way. This is a good fighter. Who would you like to see Garcia fight next? I saw somebody in the chat said they'd like to see him fight Mikey Garcia. I think that'd be a good fight. That'd be a great fight. I think that's the best fight for him.
My favorite fight for Garcia right now, honestly, I think it would be, the styles would mesh perfectly. Danny Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao.
Really? Okay.
I love that fight. I love that fight.
You think Garcia beats him?
No. But I think it's a good fight.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will think Danny Garcia would win that fight, and could win that fight, and should win that fight.
I think he could. I think he definitely could.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Willie, I don't know.
But if I think it would be probably an even money fight.
Yeah.
I think it would be an even money fight. I could see Pacquiao being slightly favored, but it would just be one hell of a firecracker of a fight. I think
it's a good fight. To be
honest with you, yeah.
That's a good fight.
I think it's an outstanding matchup.
Yeah, and Pacquiao, is fighting twice a year maybe? Is he fighting twice a year? Maybe
they're all fighting twice a year, but I think Danny Garcia was like, what did he fight?
9 months ago, I think.
This was his first fight, in 9 months. So, like you said, that's a long time. So, how many times did Danny Garcia fight in 2019?
I don't know. I can only imagine maybe once, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think that was a
It
quiet
has
year.
to be once, right?
And I don't know if this is by design of the fighter or if this is an Al Heyman thing. I just don't know.
Well, what did I see? Speaking of inactivity and stuff like that, we saw Gary Russell. Who's he fighting next?
Does he have a fight signed already?
I think so. They showed it last night. Let me see if I can bring this up here.
I know he wants Leo Santa Cruz badly.
Yeah, February 8th, Gary Russell is fighting Tugstock Niambar.
Yeah, I don't know. The guy's 11-0 too.
Come on, son.
Is that a mandatory? Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's a mandatory. Maybe. Who knows?
It's ridiculous.
He's another one that, if you guys want to get on Garcia, get on this guy. I mean, because I tell you what, man, that guy, he fights once a year. He fights once a year. So some Thailand dude, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he fights once a year. So I don't know, man. You guys want to get on somebody, get on that guy. All right, let's move ahead here, man. Jared Hurd. What's so funny?
Look what Jeff Aston said about me in the chat. He goes, I'm a MGTOW. You know what that means? Men going their own way.
Men going their own. What's that mean?
It means that like you don't believe in being like you believe in being with yourself. That you don't need a woman or whatever. That's not true, man. That's not. That's you don't. It's like there's another thing called the red pill. Like when guys got in what the hell is that thing called? The Matrix when he had a choice to choose the red pill and the blue pill. So I guess the red pill means like it's supposed to be the reality pill. So like all these guys now that are like they take the red pill, that means like they know the reality, like they're woke. They're woke and they're all against like being like playing the games and stuff with women and stuff. Listen, men and women are supposed to be together. All right, that's it. That's just how I feel. All right, and if men and men want to be together, or women want whatever. We need each other. People need people. So this whole shit about going your own way and being by yourself, Beeb ain't dying alone. It's not happening. The Beeb ain't dying alone. Needs to be with somebody. So I'm not going my own way.
And I happen to know for a fact that Beeb has his pick of the litter. There's hundreds, if not thousands.
No,
of
I only have one right now, though.
Hundreds of not, if not
I'm only
thousands.
focused on one. I'm only focused on one woman right now.
That would love to be with the Beeb right now. That much I know.
I'm only focused on one woman.
Whether you're focused on one or 100, trust me on that. Lots of women out there looking for the Beeb.
Thank you for the compliment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How's the hair looking?
It looks good. You meant yours. Yeah, mine looks great too. Yeah, but
nice
yours
little
is all
wave.
right.
See how the wave? Look at the wave there. Little Superman curl.
It looks good, man.
Look at the Superman curl. A lot of people can't have that Superman curl. Look at that.
I tried to get it. I couldn't get it.
Can't do it, buddy.
I can't do it.
That's natural too. That's
natural. I've got
to
like the Paulie Walnuts look from The Sopranos, like the wings on the side.
I mean, I go to the bar. I go to the barbers. They try to cut that off. Buddy, please leave it alone.
Do they call that a cowlick? What do they call that? I think
it's a cowlick.
Cowlick.
They call it a Superman curl.
Superman curl. That's what they call it. That's the official term for it. Superman curl.
That's what I call it.
Oh my goodness! All right, Jared Hurd versus Francisco Santana, friend of the show, by the way. 10 rounds, junior middleweights. Jared Hurd wins a unanimous decision over a game Francisco Santana by the scores of 97-92 and 99-90 twice. Listen, man, I'll be honest, man. I wasn't impressed with Jared Hurd at all in this fight. Hurd was backed up by Santana all night. Santana's coming. This is not his best weight either. Santana's not a natural 154.
No.
And he was able to back up Hurd all night. I'll be honest, man. That loss to J-Rock may have rattled his confidence. And, man, I'll tell you what, we may never see that Jared Hurd again.
Well, he was like in the beginning he was circling, he was stepping back, he was trying to like work, run Santana into his jab. He was trying to be like a slick counter puncher, and that's not who he is. Now, does he have it in his head that he lost that fight to Julian J.R. Williams because he was too aggressive and he's been criticized about his porous defense or lack thereof, defense, I should say. Is he buying into all that criticism, and he's trying to now all of a sudden turn into Floyd Mayweather? After the fourth round, he started doing the shoulder roll. Yeah, and he was getting hit, and then he was getting hit with right hands. Like,
you know how hard it is to do the shoulder roll if you don't know how to do the shoulder roll.
What is it with all of these young fighters?
I don't know.
Particularly these PBC fighters trying to do the Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll.
Yeah,
they can't do it.
Can't do it.
Even Andre Berto was trying to do it.
Can't do it, man.
And against Robert Guerrero when he was getting smashed with friggin' straight left hands.
James Toney used to do that too. He used to do that Philly shell.
Yeah.
And he said, you have to, it takes years to develop. And you will get smashed in the gym time and time again before you actually start to, use it correctly. But you get hit over and over, he said.
this guy will never be a slick counterpuncher. He'll never be a Floyd Mayweather. He'll never be able to fight like that. So why do it? And not only that, okay, you were able to try that and get away with it. I'm not saying you were successful at it, but you were able to get away with it against a Santana. You'll never, ever be able to do that against the upper echelon in this division.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if Santana... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, you finish.
If Santana was a natural 154, he would have beat him last night.
And he was sitting him with good right hands, too.
He would have beat him last night.
So why do these guys think that, okay, I'm fighting a guy who's lesser than me that I can get away with this type of stuff with? So why practice something that's not going to be applicable at the championship level? It just made no sense. I mean, obviously, I'm not a trainer. I mean, most I do is I hold mitts for kids in the gym and let them have at it. Whatever. I'm not a trainer. I'm not an official trainer. But at the end of the day, you got to use common sense here. Okay? It's one thing to tweak things and add little nuances to your game and try to, refine things a little bit, but you can't do a complete 180 and reinvent yourself totally at this stage of your career. It's not a smart thing to do. No. In my opinion.
No, it's not good. Not when you change it. And okay. So Santana, again, not a natural 147, coming up in weight and everything like that. So maybe he didn't pose the biggest threat to him power-wise. But again, man, like, you just went the distance with this guy who's not even in your weight class, who's coming up in weight. I mean, and he knocked him down, I guess, what was it, seconds left to go, and he put him down or whatever. But it wasn't, I don't know. I tell you what, I was more impressed with Santana last night than I was Hurd, put it that way.
Oh, yeah, Santana brought it, didn't he?
Santana really brought it.
Definitely overachieved.
And I'll tell you, listen, man, off that performance last night, and that, they had to pay him coming into 154, but off that performance last night, I would definitely like to see him again. I'll tell you that. I'd like to see him again. What did you think? They were talking last night about Santana moving to his right to take away that left hand of Jarrett Hurd. I thought he was doing pretty well with it. I mean, there was times where he got caught with both, but I thought overall he was doing pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought he was doing pretty good,
I agree.
So, I don't know. All right, let's talk about the first fight on there. Stephen Fulton versus Arnold K-Guy. Stephen Fulton defeated K-Guy by the scores of 116-112 and 117-111 twice. I don't know, man. Fulton did a good job boxing K-Guy, who was very aggressive. But K-Guy's a very tough fighter, man. I was actually more impressed with K-Guy in a losing effort than I was with Fulton in a winning effort. Fulton won, but I thought K-Guy's style was more of a fan-friendly style. I thought he was better. I just thought he was a more exciting fighter. I don't know. So, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, just a kind of a mediocre weekend of fights here. I don't know.
Very quiet week, huh?
It's funny because we got Danny Garcia and Jarrett Hurd, and we were thinking these are going to be like major blowouts, and they, like I said, I expected knockouts and everything like that, and neither one of them looked that great. I mean, Garcia looked better, but you could tell there was some ring rust there, but you knew he was there. But Jarrett Hurd, man, I tell you what, I would think long and hard about putting him in against anybody with any kind of top skill level right now.
Well, Tony,
put it that way. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Tony Yayo made a great point in the chat. He said, well, Steven Espinoza finally shut down show boxing. He said, dude was visibly frustrated in the crowd. Now, again, like, show boxing has already kind of fallen by the wayside to some degree, right?
Yeah, for sure.
This wasn't a good look to try to
it was not. No,
enhance things to try to enhance things and reinforce things over at Showtime.
Yeah,
it really wasn't a good look.
Not good.
This isn't going to get new subscribers.
Yeah, and JC said the last two Showtimes have been trash, and not to mention the ShowBox, which hasn't been good either. And that hasn't been good to me anyway for a long time. I don't know. All right, let's go to the phone. We got Ringside Robert on the phone here.
Robbie! Get him, Robbie!
What kind of greeting is that, Joe? Wow.
He gets mad when I rank on him. Now I'm showing him love, and he's still mad. What do you want from me? Make up your mind.
Let me tell you what kind of person Beeb is today, Robert. Let me tell you what kind of person Beeb is. He's got a Boston Celtics jersey on today. Didn't bother to wear purple. Didn't bother to wear, I mean, what are you doing? Arch nemesis of the Lakers, and he's
Eric,
got it on.
Let me update you on the Kobe thing. The daughter that he lost was not his oldest. The media erroneously reported that. It was his middle child. His oldest is 16.
Well, it's 13, Gianna, right?
So
it was Gianna, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got word.
Yeah, Gianna. They got the name right, but the media kept reporting that she was his oldest. And, he's got an older daughter that's 16. So.
Now my cousin just texted me.
Clear that up.
Now my cousin just texted me, and he said word is that Rick Fox, former Laker teammate, was on board with him. Do you know anything about that?
I've heard that, but I've heard reports. But again, since there was 9 people instead of 5, I think they're still in the process of identifying people. I don't want to say that he was on board. I've heard that from multiple people, but I haven't heard that from any official sources.
Yeah, my cousin said it's not confirmed, but it's going around on Facebook, and you've heard the same thing, though, right? I mean, you've heard the same thing?
Yeah, I have.
Imagine there's going to be a ton of reports going around, who was on there, who was not on there, that kind of thing.
I'm totally devastated.
Well, the problem I have with it, Eric, since we have to do a podcast. You got to cover boxing, I got to cover all sports. I don't want to go on the air tonight and report erroneous information.
Robbie, you guys just cover boxing. I cover sports as a whole.
Robert,
you guys can get it wrong, but me, I've got to do.
I'll have you know that the producers over here.
Eric, that's not. Eric,
Robert,
that's not how I meant it.
I know,
Robert.
I know.
What?
Robert, I'll have you know that producers over here, particularly at Fight TV, they watch us like hawks.
Like hawks.
Okay, they watch us like hawks.
Yeah.
We make one mistake over here. Guess what? They take us off the air. We're pushed to the back of the bus here. We make one mistake. So
yeah, well, okay.
I don't know how they run things over at your network. I don't know how they run things over at your network, but we're held to a very high standard over here, Eric and myself.
Me,
now, Nacho just said that the report from Rick's manager has come out, and they said Rick Fox is alive. So there you go.
Okay.
Nacho has said that. So
right,
I mean,
good.
listen. I mean, that's about as authoritative as we get
why
over here.
He's the caller of the year.
That's right. That's right.
All
right, Robbie, don't start jacking him off now, please. Take it easy, Robbie. Slow it down.
You're being sick on a horrible day. What can I say? Anyway, let me get to boxing.
Whoa! That was a low blow, Robbie.
I was not impressed last night, Eric, with either Danny Garcia or Jarrett Hurd. I think in both cases, they've been out of the ring for too long. Danny Garcia only fought once last year. That was in April. Hurd only fought once last year. That was in May. And the excuse that Showtime gave for Hurd's long absence was, well, he switched trainers, and the trainer did not want him to take a tough fight. Apparently, from what they reported last night on the broadcast, he had the rematch set with Julian Williams in December, but his new trainer said, no, if you take that fight, you can go find another trainer. I want you to take a cupcake because we got things to work on.
Yeah, that's what we heard too. I mean, the rematch was all set. So, yeah.
Now, look, when you're a trainer, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're a trainer, don't you work for the fighter? Since when does a trainer tell a fighter, no, I don't want you fighting this person?
Listen, I mean,
Well,
the trainer,
I don't
but you
think
know what?
that
I disagree
trainer-
with that. I disagree with that because, listen, I mean, the trainer's there, the trainer's there to guide you too. If he knows that it's not a good
Right.
move for you, then he's going to tell you, hey, this is not a good move for I don't like this, man.
Well, remember what Teddy Atlas said to Baveckin? I mean, he said,
Teddy Atlas is a goat.
He said, if you train with me, you're going to have to train in the United States. He says, I can't go to Russia and train you because I have my ESPN job. I have commitments over here. So I understand what you're
Very
saying.
good
Right.
on ESPN too.
I understand what you're saying 100%, and you're 100% on point with what you're saying. But the trainer also has the right to say, well, okay, I work for you, but I have my requirements that I want to met as well. It's just like when I go in for a job and I'm being interviewed, and the person interviewing me is telling me what is expected of me, but I also ask questions and say, well, what about this? Am I allowed to do that? And if certain things that I think that I need to be able to do, I'm not allowed to do at the job, then guess what? I don't take the job. Same thing as a trainer. Trainer
I agree.
decides.
Yep.
Trainer decides this is
but-
what I need to do my job to the best of my ability and be successful with you. If you're not willing to buy into what I bring to the table, then I can't work with you because it's not going to be conducive for either one of us.
Right. You got to have buy-in. I mean, if he's training, you got to have complete buy-in and trust that guy and trust his opinion because he's going to be working with you in a fight, and you've got to be able to trust him in there. So, yeah, man.
Well, not only that, too,
Okay,
Robbie.
but one question about that, Eric. Remember, Jarrett Hurd was getting criticized for not exercising the rematch clause. Now, after last night, we know why he didn't exercise the rematch clause. So should people still be jumping on Jarrett Hurd for not taking the rematch?
Yes.
Yes, because look what happened.
Look what happened to J-Rock.
Look what happened to J-Rock.
Yeah,
He's got to be kicking himself now.
but,
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
But
Listen to me, Robbie. I'm gonna make a
Okay.
prediction right. I'm gonna make a prediction right now. Jared Hurd's gonna
Okay.
fire. Is gonna fire this trainer within the next 2 or 3 fights.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have a feeling you're right because I'm thinking now. Okay, look, I followed my new trainer's advice. The person I was supposed to have the rematch with took another fight. He lost.
Well, let me ask you
that
this,
kind of-
Robert. Let me ask you
Anyway.
this, Robert. Let me ask you
Okay.
this, Robert. You saw
Okay.
what he was trying to do last night. He was trying to do his best Floyd Mayweather imitation last night. Once he steps up and tries that against a more seasoned, more difficult opponent, and he finds that it's not going to work. What do you think he's going to do to his trainer, who's trying to tell him he's going to be a defensive wizard all of a sudden now? When his whole career he was stalking guys and walking guys down. Now this guy thinks he's going to turn him into a slick defensive specialist. That ain't going to happen.
Not who he is.
First of all,
It's not who he is. It's right, Eric. It's not who he is.
First of all, Jarrett Hurd is not a defensive wizard, and if a trainer thinks he's going to turn him into one, he hasn't been paying attention to boxing. Jarrett Hurd is not successful trying to do what he did last night. Yeah, he may have survived against Francisco Santana, but you try that against a Charlo, for example,
Oh,
that
yeah,
ain't
he's
going to
getting
work.
worked, son.
Get waxed. Get waxed.
On to Danny Garcia. Look, I've always hated fighters that take long layoffs. I've always indicated that fighters need to fight more than once or twice a year. That's why I always used to get all over Gary Russell's case. It was obvious last night Danny has not been in the ring enough. And he even said after the fight, he said, I'm glad I went 12 rounds. I needed the rounds. Well, when you're getting paid to fight, are you more concerned with the number of rounds that you fight, or shouldn't you be concerned with the results that you get? He didn't look good last night. And if this Danny Garcia, say, shows up against a Manny Pacquiao, guess what? Manny Pacquiao is going to have another scalp on his resume. And we all thought that Pacquiao was eventually going to lose to somebody like Keith Thurman, and that didn't happen.
Not me, Eric. Not me. Not me, Robert.
Beeb had
Not
it.
me, Robert. I put the house on Manny Pacquiao. That's why I have this lavish, surroundings.
I've seen it, man. It's nice.
This lavish surroundings I have because all the money I made in that Pacquiao fight,
It's a
Robert.
beautiful flat.
Get with it, Robert.
But for those that want Manny Pacquiao to go away, if he keeps getting matched up against guys that don't get in the ring often enough, he's going to continue to win. And for those of you that want him to retire, he's going to stick around a while.
Robert, you were one of those that said that he needed to go find something else to do after he lost to Jeff Horn. I remember that, Robert. You wrote him off. You wrote him off, Robert. You wrote him off. You threw him aside like he was a wet dish towel. You threw him aside like a wet dish towel. And guess what? He proved you wrong, Robert.
I am not going to deny that because,
stop giving up on people. You don't believe in second chances, Robert. That's your downfall in life.
But now then he came back and beat Adrian Broner, our lovely train wreck person. Then he beat Keith Thurman. Now he barely got past Broner. Danny Garcia. I don't know about that, but I've been listening to all these people talk about, well, we want Manny Pacquiao to go away. Well, if he keeps winning, he's not going to go away.
Pacquiao's had a resurgence, baby. He's had a resurgence.
I know.
What do you think about Floyd Mayweather? Is he going to fight one of the UFC guys?
Probably. Floyd's favorite drug is money. So, if they offer him enough, he'll do it.
That was a good one, Robert.
There it is. And finally, Robert, who is going to win the Super Bowl next weekend?
Kansas City.
Well, I got people that disagree with me, but I think it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. I hate the Niners. The Niners.
Well, for me, I grew up in an area where you either rooted for the 49ers or Raiders. I've been a lifelong Raiders fan,
That's
so
right.
I can't stand the 49ers. But on the other hand, the Chiefs are our biggest rival in our division. So this is the Super Bowl that I really don't like both teams, but Kansas City hasn't been there in 50 years. I'd like to see them win.
And they will, Robert. They will.
Everybody hates the Niners. Hate the Niners. Hate them.
So, and besides, San Francisco's won 5 Super Bowls already.
Yeah. Yeah, screw them. Hate Joe Montana. Hate Jerry Rice. I hate all of them. And that new quarterback they got, what's his name?
Well, yeah.
Who's their new quarterback?
They beat your Bengals twice. That's why.
Yeah. They you know what? The refs cost them those games. Both of those games. It was ridiculous. Out of bounds on plays and stuff like that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, Super Bowl 16 and 23.
Hate it. To this day, I'm going to tell you something. To this day, when they show the clips of the Super Bowl 23, I can't watch them. I shut it off or I'll leave the room.
No, I know.
I can't watch them.
I know.
Who's Jimmy G?
Who is Jimmy G?
So Jimmy.
Is that the Jimmy?
That's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Why does he look like me?
I hate him
Eric?
too.
Does he look like me?
I don't think so.
Why would he be my son?
Because he looks like a doofus. That's why he doesn't look like you. You're a good guy, Beeb. You're not a doofus.
I'm not a doofus.
No.
That was the guy the Patriots were forced to trade because Tom Brady was afraid that Jimmy G was going to take his job.
Yeah, Garoppolo's pretty good.
Yeah.
He still sucks though. I don't like him. He's a nine.
Robert, do you have Netflix?
No.
Oh, I was going to ask if you saw that. What was that? Alex Rodriguez was the guy, the football player that.
No. The Patriots. Your boy,
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Yeah. Did you catch that, Robert?
That was incredible.
Yeah. No. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
That was a great time.
You got to go check it out, man.
Rob, you got to watch it. I mean, come on.
Right?
Why can't you take some time out of your day, your busy
Life's
schedule, to watch that?
By, son. Go watch that, man. It was pretty good. I caught that.
I don't understand. Why couldn't you watch that, Robert?
All right.
Look at me.
Gotta get with it, Robert.
Anyway.
All right, Robert, man. I'll let you go because I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Robert. Finish up.
Look out for Jose Ramirez and Victor Posto this next weekend. That's going to be a better fight than what people think.
Didn't they cancel that? That's the one in China, wasn't it?
That's the one in China. As far as I know, it's still going.
It's canceled. Yeah, they canceled it. No, it's canceled because of that outbreak of
Robert,
the coronavirus.
Oh, okay.
You better go on.
The corona,
I'm
man.
I'm glad they moved it.
They got already a case out there in California. That's in your neck of the woods, son.
I mean, Robert,
coronavirus.
They've got one in California, one in Chicago. I think there's a total of 60 people exposed to it here in the U.S.
Let me tell you, you know where they don't have it, Robert? Titletown, baby. That's where they ain't got it. It don't come up here.
They don't have it in Beantown either, baby.
Man, they got about 15 in Beantown. What are you talking
about? No, they don't, baby.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later, guys.
All right, man. Robert, Ringside Robert, our very own
Ringside Robert.
That's right. Glove Militant said he still listens to sports on the radio. Silly.
This is what happens when you don't use your internet. He's got an iPhone.
Yeah,
he can go on the internet on the iPhone. He can get news apps. He won't even do that.
Oh, stop it, Beeb.
He won't get the Zone. He won't get ESPN Plus. He won't even get the apps that are free.
Oh, come on, Beeb.
Won't even get the apps that are free.
Stop it.
What is wrong with this kid?
What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry.
Anywho, so yeah, that the coronavirus or whatever canceled all that out. I guess they decided not to do that fight because, somebody could get sick, Oh, no. All right, area code 516. This is Jesse Rican.
Jesse Vostarican Rican!
This is Jesse Rican.
Straight from the Bronx, baby.
The Bronx,
straight from the Bronx.
The Bronx is in the house.
Straight from the Bronx.
I'm from Long Island, bro.
Whatever, man.
I'm from Long Island.
Boogie Down Bronx sounds bad. Straight from Strong Island. Straight from Strong Island, baby. Jesse Rican, daddy.
That's what I like.
Before we go any further, Robert just texted me. He says, I don't pay for any apps. All my apps are free. So there you go, Beeb.
But he don't even use the free ones. The news app is free with the iPhone. It's free. And he still doesn't use it.
What's the matter with you?
Yo, let me...
Go ahead, Rican. I don't want to
say this much.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I think Beeb is the best personality on podcast radio.
How dare you? I'm sorry. I don't know if you know this or not, but I am in the room.
I'm sorry. He's better than you, bro.
Oh, Beeb.
Whoa!
Where are you from?
Whoa!
Where are you from?
Strong Island.
He's from Long Island?
Strong Island.
I'll give you a pass because I know you don't. I know you don't know any better, and that's okay. We're gonna let it pass.
He's from the East Coast, Daddy.
The East Coast.
Gets real in the field here.
What was that?
Do you know Beeb's resume?
Do you know my resume?
He started on.
Do you have any idea who I am, son? Do you know who I am, son?
He started rope-a-dope boxing. Okay. He started rope-a-dope boxing.
I started this channel. And Beeb's on it now, so what? Get to your point.
Beeb's still the pioneer of all this shit, bro. He's still the pioneer of all the boxing shit, bro.
He's what?
He started rope-a-dope.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the Nut Town? Yeah, Beeb started that shit.
The Nut Town?
Beeb.
I think we might have a bad connection. I'll let you go. Go ahead, though.
Beeb is the pioneer of all this boxing radio shit, bro.
Okay.
All right. Can I say something not boxing related, please?
Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead. You can say whatever you want, bro. You can say whatever you want, man. You got the floor, Daddy.
Rest in peace to one of the greatest athletes of all time, Kobe. When I heard the news today, this shit broke my heart, bro. So
devastated.
It's tough.
Can we please have a moment of silence for him?
That was a tough one.
My heart's hurting right now, baby. I think it's so sad.
It's 41. It's only 41
years old, man.
And his 13-year-old. That's what got me. Is his 13-year-old daughter. That was the worst part for me. Is that he had his daughter on the plane with him, or the helicopter is were.
He's one of the greatest ball players of all time. I think he holds the record for the second most scored games on one game.
Didn't he score like 80 in a game or something crazy?
Before him was
No, I don't think.
Yeah,
No,
and I
didn't.
think before him was
I think it was
Yeah, I
70.
was gonna say, didn't Chamberlain score like 100 points or something
was
like that?
Chamberlain scored 100, yeah.
Yeah, but it was Kobe Bryant
I
behind
said
him.
number two. I said number two.
Yeah.
Well, how many points
Yeah,
did Jordan
he
get?
was
Didn't
number
Jordan
two.
get? Didn't Jordan get
I think
80
he,
points
like,
one game?
No, I thought he only got like 60 or something like that.
No,
only.
No.
Who was Jordan's highest scoring game?
Kobe
Jesse?
scores number. I'm not sure, but I know Kobe's number two to what Chamberlain.
Larry Bird got 63 points.
Chamberlain has 100.
Yeah.
Chamberlain, but I mean, when I heard the news this morning, and I know you guys are a boxing show, and I called Beeb, I said, "Yo, is it okay if I'm in tears, bro. I really am. I'm fucked
No,
up.
it's all right, man.
Like,
I mean, it's sad, bro.
It is. It's sad. It's
I don't
really
deal
sad.
I don't deal with tragedy like this very well. I mean, I get very sad when I hear stuff like this, man. There's a guy that where I get my laundry done. He's the husband of this lady that does the laundry in there. This guy was I think he was 57 years old. No, he's 47 years old, and he died from a lung infection or something. He got like ammonia or something, and he died. 40, I think he was 47 years old. Horrible.
It's young, man.
well,
Horrible.
Beeb, I told you
Horrible.
not too long ago, my uncle died, and that really put me in a bad place.
Yeah.
We all
My
gotta
uncle
just
died of
we all
lung
gotta
cancer.
just.
He was on
This is a time that we all should just appreciate what we have, man. I mean, we got to really look at what we have and be thankful, man, because this isn't forever, man. This could be gone in the snap of
I'm thankful I have you guys
snap of the fingers, man.
to call in every Sunday.
I love when you call in, Jesse. You're
Yeah,
an
I do too,
inspiration.
man.
You're an inspiration, Jesse, because you know the truth.
I'm kind of joking,
You know the
but
truth.
You know the
I
truth
mean,
about.
He's a
I
little
joke,
misguided. I'm not gonna lie, but
You know
we like
you know,
we like you.
You know the Beeb's path. You know how
Beeb's path.
took me forever to become a Jedi master. I've been through the Jedi trials. And now I'm a master. I'm the Yoda. I'm like Yoda right now.
Yo, Beeb, he don't understand. Me and you are friends behind.
Yeah, you don't know. Man.
like
like you and I used to do
closed
business
doors.
together.
Like,
You
you
and
don't
I
know
did.
that.
You used to do PR work for the Beeb way back.
No,
when.
you know my son.
I know everything, man. I know everything.
You talk to my son on the phone.
You call me up. I'm down there. I'm taking the Amtrak down there in a heartbeat. You know how it is.
I
You know how it
appreciate
is.
that.
You
That
know how
means
it
so
is.
much to me.
Shit pops off down there. You
I
call
have
me up.
two
I'm
more-
down there.
Two more.
Go ahead, man.
I have two more statements to make, if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
The MMA. Can I talk about MMA?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Conor McGregor killed him at 40. I mean, I was expecting him to win, but not like that. Like
No, you talking about against
McGregor
Cowboy?
versus
Yeah,
Khabib rematch. Yeah,
man.
that was crazy, right?
Those shoulders that he hit him with, that was nuts. That was nuts.
So what do you think happens now? Him versus Khabib rematch? Do you think that happens?
I think if they rematch, I think the same thing happens. I really do. I think that Khabib is just too good. He's too good at taking.
Bad
He's going to
style
find a way to
matchup.
take you down.
Bad
And
style
once he gets
matchup.
you down, you're done. There's
It's just-
nothing you can do. I
He
think
used to wrestle
Ferguson. Huh?
Bears.
Yeah, yeah. He wrestled a
He
bear
used
when
to
he was
wrestle
little.
Bears. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
true?
That's
no?
absolutely true. Yeah, it's like a rite of passage for him over there, for their wrestlers and stuff like that. Yeah, that's 100% true. And they actually have video of it,
That's fucking crazy.
right? And you know what? I think that
That's
Tony
crazy.
Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov is going to be a better fight than Khabib and Conor would be, the rematch, because Ferguson can fight on the ground. He's used to wearing people out. I think that's going to be a really good fight.
Ferguson's got a much more interesting
Beeb.
style that would work better against Khabib than Conor. Conor just, I don't know. I just think it's just a bad style matchup for him. And not many people believe that he could beat Khabib anyways.
No, I don't think he could beat Khabib.
But you know what? Money talks. That's why it would happen again. It's a big money fight.
Dana said it's a big money fight.
It's
Yeah,
a huge money
Uncle
fight.
Dana.
So that's why it's going to happen.
Well, what I love about MMA more than I love about boxing, it's so much more unpredictable than boxing is. One lucky kick and sure, boxing is that way, and I'm going to be a boxing fan to my dying day. But there is more surprise in the MMA. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Because the matchups are better, Jesse. That's why. They're more
they're better matchups. And
better
from
matchups.
top to bottom on their card, they have better cards.
They
from top
get
to
it,
bottom,
man. That's the thing. Is like when you have a situation where Dana makes these guys fight each other,
Right.
or they don't fight, then
Yeah, you get better fights.
you get better fights.
All right, my final question before I leave you guys. Beeb, you're the best podcaster. You should take over the show. I'm going to say Tyson Fury over Deontay, bro. I think he's going to outbox it. And I'm going to say this real quick. I want to let you guys talk because I know I don't want to dominate too much of the conversation. But the fact that the first fight, I've never seen a boxer so self-aware when he's like, yo, if he beats me, he's going to beat by knockout. I'm like, holy shit. I've never seen a boxer say shit like that. I'm like, that's just amazing. He knows his weaknesses. He's going to explode. Like, I love shit like that. And I really think Tyson is he's the second coming of the greatest boxer ever.
Jesse Regan, we just
You guys might disagree with me on that.
Yeah, we kind of lost you here. Real quick, what was the question again?
Tyson versus Deontay, pretty much.
Okay, well, who's going to win between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? I think Tyson Fury wins. I think he's got too many ways to win. I think he can. I think he can hurt Wilder. I honestly, I think he could put him away. He hurt him last fight. We all know he can outbox him. I think he's got more ways to win. Wilder, of course, has got that big right hand. I think he can stop him or he can knock him out, but I don't think he wins a decision over Fury. Beeb, what are your thoughts?
I've been a huge Tyson Fury fan from the beginning. I've always, said that I think he's the best boxer in the heavyweight division right now. So I've been rolling with him forever, and I haven't picked against him since 2014. So I picked him to beat Klitschko. I know I sound like a broken record when I say that, but I've always thought that Fury could beat everyone in this division. So I'm rolling hard with Fury.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's go to area code 443. This is Baltimore. This might be Wood.
You know who this is, baby.
Is this?
You know who this is, baby. This is my, no disrespect to Nacho, this is my caller of the year. I love you, Nacho, but Wood is the shit too, man.
Wood's the man.
Go ahead, Wood.
What's going on, B?
What's up, brother?
Man, you look like you can play in soap operas, man. You're not only a client, you're the president for the head club for me and my brother.
Look at this, baby.
That's right.
Look at this.
You look
That's
like
right.
the Arabian prince up there.
You know how it is,
You
Dad.
look like the
Lebanese
Arabian
prince.
prince up there, man.
They did a good job. I tell you what, they did a good. Those doctors did a good job. They did a great job on you, man. I tell you.
Yeah, man. He not only the client, he the president.
That's right. That's right.
Man, I got to get on my Conor McGregor shit when I seen Danny Garcia yesterday, man. I see stiffness, man. I see he's stuck in the mud, man. He's heavy on his front foot. He's too heavy on his front foot, and he don't set no traps. He do the same thing. He bangs to the body, and he reach his head way over his knees. He reaches, he off balance, and he not setting up his shots. He's too simplistic in his setups. He only got like one setup. a shot to the body, try to make you drop your hands, and then go up top, try to beat you to the body. He should be feinting, probing for offense. He should be using different variations of the jab to try to open the guy up, different kind of ways to to bust his guard up, so he can create offense. He don't do anything but go to the body, go to the damn body, and then try to catch him up top. That's for him. That's for him not reaching out and trying to seek other ways of a technique besides his father. That's the only knowledge his father had. And he probably outgrown that shit. He looked stiff and tight. He had to get butt naked to make weight. He looked all sunk in the face like he smoked crack or something, or like he in the end stage of HIV or something. He looked sick as shit up there on that motherfucking stage, man. He looked slow, stiff, lethargic. He was on some Herman the Monster shit, man. He looked like that motherfucking robot on Lost in Space. He was too fucking slow, man. That's why Ivan the Terrible bit the shit out of his ass, man. He said this motherfucker shit. He probably bit him for raw soccer. He probably and then that's another thing. When you keep fighting at a very low level, you don't grow, man. You don't grow, and he fought to his level. He fought to the level, man. Like on third fuck, if you don't fight on a very high level, if you don't get prepared for somebody on a very, very high level, it don't force you to think. It don't force you to think. You don't have anything to fight for. It's like Ivan Redkach, man, can't get up for that. He could have picked a harder opponent than that. Man, for God's sakes, I'm telling Farmer beat the shit out this kid, man. Kevin Farmer beat this guy up. This nigga got cotton balls in his motherfucking gloves, and he beat Ivan Redkach or Ivan the Terrible up better than Danny Garcia. Man, Danny Garcia looked like human manure, feces. I don't mean to sound graphic, but he looked like pure D shit. This is Cable. He looked like shit last night. His father and they both should hang their head. And if they fight Manny Pacquiao and get that red panty night. Boom, Manny Pacquiao gonna beat the brakes off of him. How slow he is. He also Herman the Monster shit. He got semen in his shoes. Pacquiao still fast as lightning. When Danny wake up, he ain't gonna know what the fuck happened to him. Manny gonna pick him now. Now he going to get picked. He looked terrible, man. And Jared Hurd don't look no better, man. You got a new trainer for this shit. You might as well kept the old fucking trainer. You might as well kept the old fucking trainer, man. This shit, man, this boxing, when you fight on a low level, you're not excited. It's the other guy naming on the marquee. Nobody knows this motherfucker. That's why the UFC, that's why they have good fights, man, because you always fighting against killers. When you fight against a low level, man, you can't. It's hard to get up for it. It's hard to get up for it. Terrence Crawford suffered the same thing. That's why he got caught by that guy. He couldn't get up for the fight. And they keep fighting. They're a victim of their own ducking and trying to be too smart. They trying to be too smart for their own, trying to be too slick for their own motherfucking good, man. And now that shit's starting to catch up with their ass. And they keep fighting motherfuckers like that. He can at least fought Ugas or some Ugas or the other guy, Zipping Net or Ugas or somebody on that level, something like that. He went another level down, damn near almost on a club type level, man. That shit been him in his ass, man. He went to the well too many times. I'm not saying he was about to get a Earl Spence fight. I know he want to play it safe, but you can't play it that motherfucking safe, man. And the shit caught up with him, made him look foolish, made him look stupid. But that's all I had. That's all I really had to say, man. Y'all have a blessed one, man.
All right, Wood. Good call as always. Wood was this close to being caller of the year. Very close.
He was.
Split decision. Very good caller. All right, let's go to, let's see here. The schedule. What's going on next week? January 28th, I believe this is Tuesday. Steve Rolls versus Shady Gamor. 10-round super middleweights. This will be on UFC Fight Pass. January 30th. Beeb, is this is a Thursday?
January 30th is a Thursday, correct?
Yeah, I don't understand this. Miami on DAZN, Demetrius Andrade versus Luke Keeler. 12 rounds for Andrade's WBO middleweight title. Jake Paul versus Anderson Gibb. 6 rounds cruiserweights. This is the YouTubers. I know Jake Paul is a YouTuber. I guess the other guy is a YouTuber also. I don't know. Whatever. Then the undercard to that event is Tevin Farmer versus Joseph Diaz Jr. 12 rounds for Farmer's IBF Junior lightweight title. Danny Roman versus Murdejan Akhmadaliev for Roman's IBF and WBA Junior featherweight title. Not a crazy bad card, but I don't know. Andrade versus Luke Keeler doesn't do it for me.
No.
Doesn't do it for me, man. He's
Nope.
got to start fighting some guys here. Also on the 30th on UFC Fight Pass. UFC Fight Pass getting a lot of fights now. Ernesto Delgadillo versus Jade Bornea, 10 rounds, junior bantamweights. Not the best fights, of course, but they're getting fights. January 31st is on Friday on Showtime. Ruben Villa versus Alexei Collado, 10 rounds featherweights. And Taras Shuttleshook versus Alejandro Davila, 10 rounds welterweights. And it's got to be a showbox card because, let's see. And on February 1st, which will be Saturday, on Fox Sports 1, Yordenis Ugas versus Mike Dallas Jr., 12 rounds welterweights. And that kind of answers the question that Wood had about Yordenis Ugas. He said, well, why didn't he fight that guy? Well, because he's already booked. Michael Rivera versus Fidel Maldonado Jr., 10 rounds lightweights. And Omar Juarez versus Angel Martinez Hernandez, 6 rounds junior welterweights on that card. And that is it for the weekend. Let's talk about this fight real quick. The Andrade fight, the DAZN card here. What are your when he signed to fight Luke Keeler? What were your thoughts on that? I mean, because it didn't do a thing for me. I got to be honest.
I can't be mad at him because he called everybody out. Nobody wants to fight him, and
there's not a better fighter than Luke Keeler out there, though. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of where I come out at it. And this is no disparaging against Luke Keeler.
Yeah,
he's just not a name guy. And if Andrade, who just signed a 4-bout extension with DAZN in Matchroom, he just signed a 4-bout extension, and Luke Keeler is on that. I mean, they, and again, no disrespect to Luke Keeler, he may be a great fighter, but the problem is, for something like this, you want a marquee name up there, and they're not giving him that. He's not getting any marquee names. So I don't know. I don't know really what to make of this. To be honest
crazy.
With you.
It's crazy, bro.
Really I mean, you want this guy. You want this guy to have a name in front of him. You want to market him, but Thursday night in Miami. Now it could be because of the Super Bowl. My guess is it's the Super Bowl. I guess it's this Sunday. So maybe that's why they couldn't venue it on Friday. It's a good lead in for it. I don't know. Jake Paul versus Anderson Gibb. Another YouTube fight. I think the YouTube fights for me anyway, they've kind of worn on me. I've kind of I've kind of gotten over them. Seeing two guys that can't fight get in there and fight. So I don't know. Tevin Farmer, Joey Diaz Jr., just okay for me. And then Danny Roman should be a walk in the park, but who knows? Who knows? So
it's crazy.
It is. Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot. All right. We have a double train wreck of the week this week. And so I see Jason out there. How many times does Jason change his stuff, man? He's changes his alias like all the time here.
Heyman's World.
Heyman's
Jockstrap.
I think it would be Gervonta's Jockstrap, right? Davis's Jockstrap.
Heyman's Laundry Boy. Heyman's Car Washer.
Tink. All right, so here's our train wreck of the week, man. Andy Ruiz leaves his trainer this week. Andy Ruiz parted ways with Manny Robles. He said the decision came from the top down, basically meaning that Al Heyman and the PBC wanted Robles gone. Obviously, that's a nonsense excuse. I also read that Andy Ruiz is meeting with Teddy Atlas to possibly train him. Beeb, you did a video on this earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Is this guy delusional or what? I mean, why couldn't you just give Manny Robles a straight? I heard it came from his father too. It didn't even come from him. Why can't you just be straight with the guy? It didn't come from Heyman.
It's disgraceful.
It really is, right?
And I don't think Teddy Atlas will train him.
Teddy Atlas, that's a horrible matchup if he does.
Atlas,
that ain't going past one fight.
Teddy Atlas will walk right out of that camp.
Yeah. Atlas doesn't put up with nonsense.
Nothing. He'll get rid of you in a second.
Yeah, because he doesn't need him.
He doesn't need the bullshit.
He doesn't need it. You know,
not at this stage of his life. He's already got money. He's already got money.
You know what I don't understand? In like Tim Bradley was the same way. Tim Bradley was the same way. He loses that fight against Pacquiao, and then he fires Teddy Atlas. For what? For what? You lost the fight.
Did he fire Teddy Atlas or Joel Diaz?
I thought he fired. Didn't he lose the fight and he fired Teddy? I thought he fired Teddy Atlas.
No,
I thought he got rid of. How did he get? What?
He got rid of Joel Diaz, and then he hired Teddy Atlas for the last couple fights of his career.
But then he got rid of him after that last loss. But I think he retired after the last loss too.
Yeah, so I don't know if he got rid of him.
I thought he got rid of him first and then just decided to retire.
Oh, I wasn't sure about that.
That's what I thought. Anyway,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know.
We could both be wrong. Who knows? Jason said Andy doesn't need Teddy. Teddy doesn't need Andy. I tell you what.
Right. Teddy don't need Andy.
Let me tell you what, man. This was, the fact that he fired Robles, who I thought was a really good trainer, guided him to the biggest fight of his life, laid the blueprint down on how to beat him, and then you come in 280 pounds and then you blame him. And there was rumors going around that, Ruiz trained himself and this and that. Listen, you had a trainer there. So if you trained yourself, that was the other thing I heard too, is that they set up camp for him and that Ruiz wouldn't go. That Ruiz said that, they wanted him to stay at this place and everything like that. So get all the distractions out. Ruiz didn't want to do that. He wanted to do things his own way.
That's right.
So, Jason said Andy will go to Reynoso or Robert Garcia. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters, man. I really don't. Raphael says Ruiz needs a hypnotist. Beeb, so you did a video on this earlier in the week. Tell us a little bit more about that. What did you, about your video and stuff like that?
My whole thing is this, just like I said earlier, it's like Teddy, a trainer is not going to be able to follow this guy around and put locks and chains on the guy's refrigerator. He's not going to be able to follow this guy around and tell him, that you can't go out and party. Once you leave the gym, what happens after that is the fighter's responsibility. He's a grown man. He's an adult. He should be able to take care of his own personal business. A trainer is a trainer. He's not a chaperone. He's not a guidance counselor. He's not a life coach. Trainer isn't even he's not a dietitian. He's not a doctor. He's not a strength and conditioning coach either. You hire separate people for all those different things. So to blame the trainer for your own lack of discipline is a cop-out, number one.
Very much.
And when you go back and watch what happened in that first fight, and I said this, Andy Robles will be etched in history forever. Like that was Andy Ruiz's night, but it was also Andy Robles' night too. Okay? Because no one's ever been able to get more out of Andy Ruiz than what Andy Robles did on that June 1st night.
Yeah, I agree.
People will remember that. People remember that. And nobody is on board with this decision. Nobody. Everybody that has commented on this has really looked at it and said to them, and said, not only to themselves, but just said outright blatantly that Andrew Ruiz is coming off looking very ungrateful and just looking like a very disloyal person who's not taking ownership for losing the fight.
Just a baby.
And and as you said, the whole cop out of trying to pass the buck and blame Heyman for this.
Seriously, like really?
I'm not buying it.
Come on, man.
I'm not buying it.
I think that's the worst thing is that he couldn't even say, "Hey, you know what? I think I need a change. I'm going to make that change. And listen, I wish you luck in the future, whatever." No, he doesn't even do that. He sends his father down. He sends his dad down to say, "Hey, Heyman wants you gone." Well, what do you mean Heyman wants? Yeah, Heyman wants you. There's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, come on, man. Really? Come on. That's just crazy to me. That's just crazy. It shows that, you know what that shows too is a lack of character.
Really does.
Yeah, it really does, man. It shows a lack of character.
It really does.
Just awful, man. Just awful. And Manny Robles, I feel bad for him. I mean, like I said, because he's kind of the scapegoat of this whole thing. But again, man, I mean, I don't understand. Like, this is a guy who, this trainer took you to a good, got you to the Undisputed Championship, or as close to undisputed as you can get. And, you come back the follow-up fight, don't listen to a word he says. You balloon 20 pounds up or 15 pounds up from where you were to 280, whatever. I mean, and now you're going to blame your trainer? Come on, man. That's crazy to me. But you see it all the time. You see it all the time.
You do.
You remember Oscar De La Hoya with Robert Alcazar?
Yep.
And I heard that De La Hoya didn't fire him either. He had somebody else do it.
Yep.
Because he didn't like confrontation and this and that. And he, that's why I knew, like, when that kind of stuff happens, it kind of reveals to you, like I said, their character. When they come to you and say, "Hey, I'm looking to make a change and this is it." But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just not good. Not a good look for him, I'll tell you that. Not good.
It's horrible.
What do you think of him and Teddy Atlas? I don't think if he hires Teddy Atlas, I don't think that goes more than 1 or 2 fights.
No, it's a bad look.
It's terrible. Yeah, I mean like, I don't even know, like, why that would even cross his mind. I really don't. I don't know why that even crosses his mind. And no trainer is going to be able to help you.
No.
No trainer is going to be able to help you.
No.
So, I don't know, man. He's in a bad spot, that's for sure. He likes pizza more than he does winning. What are you going to do?
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Speaking of idiots, 706, Jason, you're live.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you pussies, man? Why can't Andy make a fucking change with all these fucking pussies having a little fucking right? Why coaches get fired every day? What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
What do you want, a track phone? What, did you borrow Georgie's phone? Speak clearly. What's the matter with you?
Is my volume too low?
Come on, son. Get it together over there. What are you doing?
What's going on, guys?
What's happening?
Why are you guys bashing Andy, man? He took a loss. Maybe he feels like he needs a change.
He came in 280 pounds, son. Is that the trainer's fault? Is that the trainer's fault? It's not the trainer's fault. And not only that, he couldn't even fire the trainer himself. Couldn't even fire the trainer himself. He sent his old man to do it. He sent his old man to do it. And then he blamed Heyman.
Do the dirty work, dude. Bosses don't do the dirty work.
And then he blamed Heyman.
He's like, dude, Al is the boss. Dude, that's okay. Al told him to just blame me. He said, I'll take the blame. I don't want the fans to bash you. Just blame me. Al's a good guy like that. Al is always a scapegoat. If you haven't noticed, Al is the boogeyman out there. They just blame Al for him.
Is this kid fucking gone?
People are blaming Al for Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash. You see that on Twitter? They're blaming Al for that too.
You're a fool, son.
Is he fucking gone, this kid?
Chris Mannix is saying it's Al him and messing with the Al helicopter. So that's what's going on. But what do you guys think about Danny Garcia? That was a great performance. What do you guys think about that?
Say it was a great performance? He said it was a great.
He doesn't like that performance.
No. Even Garcia said Garcia said it wasn't a great performance.
Dude, Garcia doesn't know anything, dude. What does he know? Dude, Crawford went 11 rounds with one leg and 10 defeat. So what? Happens, man. Come on. This is boxing.
Jason falling flat tonight. I got to be honest.
Who's caller of the year? It better be me.
Nacho's caller of the year. You were former the caller of the year. Your former caller of the year.
Nacho's the most boring fucking caller. Why would he?
Whoa!
Oh!
Nacho's top level, man.
Top shelf, son.
And Beeb won that quiz too. Beeb won that quiz. I know Beeb won. I don't think Nacho won. I thought Beeb won. I'm on Beeb's side.
It doesn't matter.
Beeb won the head-to-head quiz.
Nacho won it.
I thought Beeb won.
Nacho says.
I thought Eric fixed the game.
I got a lot of fans here tonight. I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
You got to be feeling loved. I love it.
I'm feeling really good about myself right now.
I like when the Beeb feels good.
Did you guys do a tribute to Kobe Bryant in the beginning of the show?
Or did you listen? Did you listen at all, or did you just open your trap? Yes, we did.
It's very sad.
Did you do like a 24 like bell salute like the NBA? You guys could have done that.
A 24 bell salute? No, we did not, because he wasn't a boxer.
That would have been cool.
It would have been cool to do a 24 bell salute.
What do you guys think about the Wilder Fury presser, man? What do you guys think about the Wilder Fury presser? It was kind of boring, wasn't it? Just sitting there on stage
it's all boring now.
It was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was real boring. It was pretty boring.
The first fight was kind of organic. You know, this fight felt kind of forced. The first fight felt like kind of real. It still forced.
Yeah, I agree.
Nacho
said that the fighter himself, speaking of Danny Garcia, looked awful. Said he looked awful, but Jason said he was great.
What?
Nacho says that Danny Garcia himself said that he looked awful.
11 rounds with that. Didn't Crawford go 11 rounds with that guy with one leg that shot in his knee? Fucking Benavidez. So what? If he went 12 rounds with.
What's that have to do with Danny Garcia?
Redkach is coming off 2. What? Dude, Redkach is coming off 2 KO, man. He's no chump, okay? He knocked out Devin Alexander. Who's knocked out Alexander before? Nobody.
What did you think about Tank floating a $250,000 check that he couldn't pay for?
What about it? Dude, Trump has been bouncing checks like 30 years. So what? Rich people bounce checks all the time.
Rich people bounce checks all the time? Is that what he said?
Tank could go out and kill somebody. Well, the guy got in the way of his gunshot his gun, so of course he's going to get hit with the bullet. That's like the guy makes excuses.
Beeb, what did he say? Beeb, what did he say when Bush and our we killed like hundreds of thousands of Iraqis? What did he say about that? He just said, "Oh well, we thought there were weapons of mass destruction there, and there weren't. So oh well, whatever. You want to talk about one fucking guy? Come on, man. That's why I can't take you guys seriously about your outrage about fighters. I mean, we let fucking presidents get away with killing billions of people, and we want to talk about fighters getting fucking.
What am I supposed to do about the president? What am I supposed to do about the president?
What control do I have over the president?
I can vote against him. That's it. What else do you want me to do?
Who cares that he bounced a check? Like, you guys just sit around like the peanut gallery, like bashing these fucking black fighters. Like, oh my god, he bounced a check.
We're bashing black fighters.
Black fighters?
We're bashing black fighters. Is Garcia black? I didn't know. Is Danny Garcia black? Is Danny Garcia black? Is he an honorary black this week?
Is Andy Ruiz black? Is Andy Ruiz black?
Is Andy Ruiz black?
Is Andy Ruiz?
Where are you going to or no?
Andy Ruiz is.
Are we talking about Kovalev?
His rape trial is pending, right? Are you talking about that? Are you covering that?
No. It hasn't started.
You raped and beat up some chick? Why not?
Allegedly.
Why not?
We mentioned it last week. We mentioned it last week. Where have you been?
Like fucking Sean Hannity from Ohio. Right?
You're having a bad night tonight, Jason. I got to be honest. You're having a bad night. Usually you have pretty good nights or fair nights or whatever, but you're having a bad night tonight, man. You're just not interesting.
You say that every week.
You're not interesting, man. You're not interesting tonight, man. You usually, some people say, sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. This is one of those days.
Yeah, I'm not anti-fucking PBC like Montero for you.
I can't hear a word he's saying. I can't hear a word he's saying because he's got a bad phone.
I gotta be anti-PBC like more than Montero instead of fucking like from Florida. Like the anti.
He's got to be anti-PVC like Montero. Montero's not anti-PVC. He loves Montero, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he always talks about
always
Montero. He's all over Montero all the
Loves
time.
him.
Him and Steve Kim, he's all over him.
Loves him.
Dude, I got Montero's a fucking bitch. You call it tragic PBC. I wish they'd ban that motherfucker.
Yeah, weren't you at the fight?
Weren't
Weren't you at the fight in Atlanta? Did you go introduce yourself to Montero and let him know all these things you're thinking?
No, dude.
No,
We're just
why?
throwing popcorn on it.
I'm way more comfortable talking behind somebody's back. All right, Jason, we're gonna get running, man.
Why would I go to the media section? I can't go to the media section.
Why would I go to the media section? Well, supposedly he had third row tickets. He should be right by the media section, right? What's the matter with him? Beeb, he had an off night tonight.
Yeah, real.
I don't know what that was bad. That was real bad. That was real bad. All right, let's talk about Jarrell Miller. Jarrell, Big Baby Miller. Beeb, friend of the show, comes to terms and signs with Top Rank. Bounced back. He'll now be showcased on ESPN. Now, listen, man. Listen, Bob Arum knows what he's doing, and maybe he sees something there. Let me ask you this, because if I'm a promoter, I can't go near this guy. I just can't, because he's, like I said, there's been too many issues, too many instances.
Too many fuck-ups.
Yeah, and to put a lot of money down on him. So if do you think they put him on, like, say, Crawford's undercard or something like that? Or do they put him in headlining? I can't see them putting him headlining. Can you?
They'll probably they could headline him against a guy like Pulev.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, they could. But what I'm saying is, like, do you invest that kind of money knowing that he may not be there that night?
It's a risk.
It's a big question mark, right?
But would he be stupid enough to get busted again?
Yes, I believe he will. I mean, he's busted 3 times. What was it, 3 times he's been?
That was a dumb question, wasn't it?
I mean, no, but I see your point. You're like, this guy's already screwed up. I mean, does he really have another screw up in him? And I believe he does, I believe he might, Listen, that was the biggest opportunity. Think about this. Think about that for a minute, how that must haunt him when he goes to bed at night, knowing that Andy Ruiz won that title, got a bunch of money from it, got a bunch of money the next fight, and that could have been you, but you screwed up. That's big.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That was life-changing for him, his family, and everybody with him. I mean, that is life-changing. That's rough. That's a rough one. I would say that might even be more punishment than anything anybody could have ever done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, for real though. I mean, really, that could have been the worst punishment that anybody's ever gotten. No matter what they decided on that, no matter whatever happened, that had to be the worst punishment, is watching that fight.
Yeah.
And knowing that was you.
Yeah.
And you blew it. That's tough. It's a tough one.
I agree.
So Canelo Alvarez is looking for Ryota Murata, and this fight would most likely be in Japan at 160 pounds, I'm imagining. I can't imagine they would get him any higher than that, just because, Murata's already got a title. Is this a good fight for Canelo? I mean, my feeling is I like Triple G Murata better.
Yeah.
But I think Canelo should be fighting bigger name guys like a Callum Smith. If you want to go fight Callum Smith in England, go fight him. That's a big fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think there's better fights for him. But again, where is it going to be? It's not going to be in Japan, where the fight could be the biggest that it could be. No one's going to know who this guy is.
Well, no, they will be in Japan, from what I understand.
Oh, will be in Japan? Oh,
Yeah,
then it's not a bad move.
Big
Not
fight
a bad
then.
move. It's a
Big
big
fight
it's a
over
big,
there,
it's,
huh?
it's a big fight over there. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure because I thought Canelo always fought in Vegas now, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I don't. He's not going to fight Andre. He's not going to fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Well, I thought he should have fought Billy Joe Saunders. I thought that 167, or that super middle, or 168, he could have fought Billy Joe Saunders there. I thought that would have been a good fight.
Well, I just think it's a great move if he goes to Japan and fights him because the fight's huge over there.
Let me ask you this: can he get down to 160 now? After being up, I mean, you got to go 15 pounds south.
I think it's a horrible move. I would never have him. And even De La Hoya said, he wants to fight at 168. So the fight could be at 168. I could see them moving the fight to 168 and forcing Murata to fight him at 168.
Like a Canelo weight, yeah.
Well, I have a feeling they'll make him move up to 168.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one, man, where he's got to cut 15 pounds if it goes to 160.
Yeah.
That's a tough, hey, I mean, we've seen a lot of fighters try to come back down and wait and not do well.
I think they're too smart. I think they're too smart to make him go all the way back down to 160.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. But that is a big fight in Japan, but not really anywhere else. I'd rather see Triple G and Murata. I think that's a big fight. To me, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a good fight, man. John Riel Casimero versus Naoya Inoue may happen. Mike Coppinger is reporting that Casimero and Inoue will happen on April 25th on ESPN, which makes a lot of sense because Inoue just signed with Top Rank or whatever. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. It's a good fight on ESPN. It's great exposure for Inoue. Casimero's got a title. What else do you want? I mean, that's beautiful, right?
I agree.
It's beautiful.
I agree.
As we mentioned before, Demetrius Andrade re-ups with Matchroom. 4 fights, so we'll see what happens. See what happens there. See if I'll tell you what, we'll see if he gets a named guy. All right, Manny Gatillo asked for it. He will get it now. Our second train wreck of the week belongs to Gervonta Davis. Bouncing checks, Beeb. Bouncing checks. TMZ is reporting. According to court docs, the jewelers say that Gervonta Davis ordered a $130,000 green Richard Mille watch, a $60,000 custom pendant, a $30,000 Rolex, and 4 $12,000 GTD pendants, whatever GTD means. They also say that Davis had another blue Richard Mille watch, which he had previously bought from them, repaired for $19,000. But they claim once it came time to pay the bill for the $250,000, Davis and his team paid with a counterfeit check.
Fucking retards.
Now, the jewelers say this was no accident. They said that Davis knew that the cashier's check, quote, Davis knew that the cashier's check was counterfeit, and he acted intentionally and with malicious intent. Now, the jewelers are asking for the jewelry to be returned or the $250,000 with interest plus damages. You might be better off just giving them back the jewelry, man. $250,000. Let me ask you a question, Beeb. Like, can you imagine buying $250,000 worth of jewelry, even if you had it, even if you had the money to do it? Could you imagine $250K worth of jewelry?
No.
I can't imagine spending $30,000 on a watch if I had it. I mean, for what?
No, it's crazy.
$30,000. 30, Beeb. The only guy I ever knew who spent that type of scratch on jewelry was Ringside Robert. Ringside Robert. He had this necklace. We saw pictures. You remember the pictures we saw, Beeb, of that necklace that was like this on him? It was like a big chain, and it had like a big nameplate that said Robert on it. It's nuts. Chock full of diamonds. He's got gold teeth. He's insane, but he's the only one. He's the only one I know of.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Check this one out, B. Alejandra Jimenez tests positive. The Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, also known as VADA, has notified the WBC that the A sample collected on January 10th from WBC female super middleweight world champion Alejandra Jimenez has yielded an adverse finding for a banned substance under the WBC clean boxing program. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Like we were all sitting around wondering. I mean, seriously, like we were all sitting around wondering, is she on PEDs? I didn't know that. She's taking illegal stuff? You think? You think? Of course.
Is she a transgender?
I don't think so. I didn't hear anything about it. I don't think you can. Admittedly, I'm a moron when it comes to this stuff. I'm not 100%. Does transgender mean you're just dressing as a chick? Or does it, or just like the opposite sex? Or does it mean you actually went through the operation? I don't know. I'm dumb when it comes to that stuff.
I think it means you go through the operation.
Yeah, I'm ignorant when it comes to that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea. I'll be honest, man. Tony Ayo says Alejandra has a daughter, so not a trans or a dude. Yeah, I know she had a daughter, but it doesn't mean you can't be trans and have a daughter. It doesn't mean you can't do the surgery or choose that lifestyle after the fact. I don't know, man. And everybody out there who is slamming people about the talk of Jimenez, where are you at now? I don't hear too much from them. I mean, listen, we all got opinions on it. It is what it is. And when it's pretty glaring, it's pretty glaring. I mean, I don't know.
Here's a stupid question.
Yes.
So these trans people that have the sex changes and they identify as a woman, can they really be a woman if they don't have the ability to have a child?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there's women that yeah, I believe that. So here's my take on it. If you transition, all right, if you transition and you go through the surgery and everything like that, if you're a guy and you go through the surgery and afterwards you got all the parts of a woman and everything like that, yeah, I think you're a woman. I think you identify as a woman and you're a woman now. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Just my opinion. I don't know. I mean, but now here's where it gets dicey. If you're a guy and you transgender or vice versa and transgender over, I don't want to say transgender over, that's not the right word. I guess transition over, okay, to, if you're a female or if you're a male and you transition over to female, should you be allowed to fight or play sports?
No.
Like, I don't think so either.
Joe Rogan spoke out against that and he got fucking hammered.
I don't understand that. Like, yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, because you're built differently.
Got hammered by these fucking nuts.
It's crazy. I just think that, Tony Ayo said that Caitlyn Jenner, who was formerly Bruce Jenner, really transitioned or was just a cross-dresser.
No, he transitioned.
Did he? So he had a change and everything?
Yeah, transitioned over.
Oh, he had an operation. Yeah, he said Bruce had an operation. Yeah, then he's full-fledged now.
He went all the way over.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Because we're on this now.
Sure.
And I'm curious. I'm a curious guy. Who's hot to you? Like Taylor Swift. You like Taylor Swift? She's a pretty girl. Or Pam Anderson? Say Pam Anderson. All right?
Yep.
If you dated a chick that looked like Pam Anderson, but you found out she used to be a dude, is that relationship over?
Over.
You're a shallow dude, man. You are so
Over.
shallow. You're a shallow guy. Cold-blooded. You're cold fish, Beeb.
This is one area.
JC.
This is one area that I'm just not going to be politically correct on this one area. I don't think that if you are born a man or you are born a woman, that's who you are. And if you want to get a surgery to change that, I still think I'm not going to bash you for doing it, and I'm not going to treat you any differently, but I still don't think that you can change your sex.
Yeah.
But I don't think when you go against Mother Nature, I just never been a fan of that. Like if you were born a man, you should, you're a man.
But don't you think though? But don't you think some people are really kind of born? You know, I mean, obviously some people are born. They're born with their parts. But sometimes, but you talk to, I mean, like you've seen people all the time. You talk to people and you're like, man, he's got like girl mannerisms.
All right, but here's the problem.
You know what I mean?
Here's the problem. Men are the stronger sex, correct?
Yeah.
Even if you get the surgery, it's not going to change your muscle. It's not going to really change your muscle mass that much.
No, it's not. And
it's not going to change your bone density. Okay, so you're a man in every facet of the word, except that you changed your genitalia.
Right.
And if you have to continue to give yourself female hormones, but even still, like Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner, whatever you want to call him or her, still has a masculine voice, still has, the bone density of a man, still has the muscle mass of a man. Like, who have you ever seen that actually got like, you can always tell that somebody who has that surgery is a man or a woman. You can always tell, like even with the surgery, you still don't really look like a woman. You look like a man who's trying to be a woman, in my opinion. I know I'm going to get slammed for it, but that's just my opinion. That's one thing that I just think is, I don't think you could really change your sex.
Do you think you could pick them out? Do you think you could pick somebody out that was a woman or was a man, but now is a woman? Do you think you could pick somebody out?
Always.
He's very confident.
Yeah.
He's very confident.
I've seen it time and time again. You can't. They didn't even cut off Bruce Jenner's Adam's apple, I don't think. I still think he has that Adam's apple.
I don't know.
Yeah. Does Caitlyn Jenner really look like a woman?
You don't think she did? In that cover of the magazine, you didn't think she looked like a woman?
You can't tell that
I didn't know that was him. I really didn't know that was him.
Let's look at
I
Caitlyn
had no
Jenner.
idea. Look at that magazine cover she did.
Let's look at it right now.
How do we get down these rabbit holes, Beeb?
We just do. There's no turning back. Oh, come on. Look at this. Look at her right now. Okay, let's look.
All right, let's look. All right, now, okay, so the one I'm looking at right now that just came up when I typed in Caitlyn Jenner, yeah, he definitely looks like jacked up. But go to that, hold on here. Go to that magazine cover.
You can't tell.
I'm telling you, man.
You can't tell that person is a man.
That's a bad picture, man. Hold on.
You can't tell. Look at this. Here's another one.
Go to the Vanity Fair magazine cover. Go to the Vanity Fair.
Look at the neck. Look at the Adam's apple. Look at the bone structure. That's a man. That's a man.
I'm telling you what.
Trying to be a woman.
I don't know, man. I when I saw that cover of the Vanity Fair, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Look at this. Look at this. That's a
She just looks like an old chick, man.
That's a man. You can't tell that looks like a man.
She just looks like an old chick to me.
No, she doesn't look like a female to me. Look at these pictures. No, look at the bone structure.
Nacho just said, I don't know about that, Beeb, but the surgery they're having now is getting better and makes it more difficult to tell.
Nacho. Look at that is not a female frame. Look at the shoulder. Look how bulky, look how broad the shoulders are, and look how thick the bone density is there. That's not a woman. It's not a woman. Look at her body. Does she look like she has a female body? It looks like a guy, like that movie White Chicks. That's what it looks like.
I've never seen that movie White Chicks.
Well, you missed a good movie.
Was
that
it
looks
good?
that looks like someone stuck a balloon in their chest, trying to pretend that they're a woman. To me.
Oh no, man.
But to each his own, I guess. I can't.
Well,
you know,
I mean, I'm just saying. Sometimes it's hard to tell. It's like it's not that cut and dry.
I can always tell.
You're gonna Beeb's a real man.
I can always tell. There was a girl. There was a he or a she at Walmart, and I could tell. I could tell. You just always tell. And even when I was with my ex-girlfriend, little Brianna.
Yeah.
She would say, "Is that a girl or a boy?" Even at 8 years old, 9 years old.
She knew. Yeah.
She knew.
Yeah.
She knew it didn't look right.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna find a picture. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. JC says you can't tell. Not if you go to Thailand. Yes, you can. Go on X. Go on X videos and put trans
X
in the
videos.
search. And put trans in the search. You could tell. I'm sorry, Fight TV. I'm sorry. Strike that last mark. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hold on. So you've went to X videos and typed in trans?
Yeah, I wanted to see if they actually had porn for that with that.
Why?
I'm just curious. It's just, I want to see how it looks from that. You know what else they have there? They'll have someone that's like that got the surgery but still left the penis there.
Why?
It's gross. Like they have breasts and everything, but they still have the penis. It's disgusting.
That's crazy.
It's gross.
JC said his friend went to Thailand. He can't tell. Can't tell nothing.
Well,
sounds like your friend had a little trouble over there.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, this
Red
is
Glove Militant said this is very uncomfortable. Why?
It is.
What's so uncomfortable about it?
It is uncomfortable, but
What's so uncomfortable about it?
I don't know. It's funny.
It's okay. It's people. JC said he's a Brazzers kind of guy. Nothing uncomfortable about it. We're talking about people. There you go. All right, let's change the subject here and get off Brazzers and trannies. We're going to talk about Ricardo Mayorga. This is a sad story here. Ricardo Mayorga was jumped coming home from the store and ended up getting hit in the head, hit with a bat. He was unconscious. He got robbed. They took, I think they took his wallet. They took some of his jewelry, or I guess he had a watch on. They took that. It's crazy over there in Nicaragua, man. Good news is, though, he's going to be all right. He's already been released and is home recovering. What are you going to do, man? These savages out here.
It's fucked up, bro, isn't it?
It's crazy, right?
It's
Can't even walk to the store anymore.
It's too much.
And that's Ricardo Mayorga.
It's too much.
He said it was Mayorga was the guy in Nicaragua. Yeah, he sure was.
It's too much.
I don't get it. What are you going to do? All right, guys. So next week is the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl, Beeb? All right, so next week is the Super Bowl. We'll probably do the show. You want to do it at 12?
Yes.
Let's do it at 12, and that way, because I want to watch the Super Bowl, and it usually starts at like 3 or... I think the coverage starts at 3 or something. I know Antonio will be watching it all day, but...
You can do it at 12.
Yeah, we'll do it at 12. Trying to figure that out. Manny Gatillo says, I heard Chavez Jr.'s... Oh, stop it.
Oh, God.
Come on, man. He's got a family. Stop it. Come on, Manny. JC wants to know what our...
I couldn't... Raphael Dawkins...
We're still down this rabbit hole.
There's no way
We're still down this rabbit hole.
I could not love them in an intimate sexual way. No.
What if it was like The Crying Game? You remember the movie The Crying Game when he found out that dude was a man?
Again, I'm not against it. I'm not gonna stand up on a soapbox and say that you can't do it. That I don't like people that do it. But I will say it just seems bizarre to me that someone would want to change their sex. I'm ignorant to it. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just don't understand it.
All right, Beeb, what's your prediction for the Super Bowl? Kansas City.
Kansas City's going to win.
Yeah. I'm not even going to mention that other team on the air. Kansas City by massacre.
Yeah.
Blowing them out. Blowing them out. There you go. All right, guys. That's all we got today, man. We'll see you next week. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. I'm at Ringside73 on Twitter, and we will catch you guys next week.